I'm Nikki
Hey.
Sun from Movie Web, and I'm so excited to be here with the 3 stars of Plane, Gerard Butler, Mike Colter, and obviously the plane behind you guys. How are you doing
Yes,
today?
finally.
What a great photo, huh?
I know, I love it. I'm glad that you guys are having fun, and I know that because every minute matters, I'm just gonna jump right on in. Gerard, you've been producing and acting in several of your films, so what makes Plane stand out to you?
When I read this script, I went, especially the first part. By the end of the first act, I felt like an audience member, like I was white-knuckling it, going through this storm with these pilots. It felt very believable. You could follow what they were having to go through, but you could see the extreme peril that they were in. And that was the first act. You know, normally you have to wait to the end of the movie to get all that fun and that action. It can be a slow burn. We had all that in the first act. And then from there, unfolds as a completely different movie. Then it's a survival movie. It's a drama. It's a thriller. So it felt like it had all the elements. And it's been a while since we've seen a really good movie where the plane is the central character, because it's a terrifying prospect. We all as people imagine what it must be like being in a plane when it goes down, and this doesn't let you off the hook. It doesn't happen in 2 minutes. You are stuck with them the whole way through this, and then they basically land in hell, and then it's a whole other movie. Then in steps this man with me. That's all he does. Every now and again, he just gives away.
And Mike, you
handcuffs on.
played so many iconic characters on television, and this is like one of your major breakout movie star roles in film. So what has been the biggest difference for you in film, and what made you say yes to this film?
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. The hours are better in film than television. I'll tell you that right off the bat. In television, these hours are ungodly. I don't know what's going on, but they act like, you know, they just won't. I don't know. There's just ridiculous hours on television. I'll complain about that until the day I die. Anyway, so I really like the thing about film. There's a certain freedom with the development and script, because when you step on the set, there's a certain, you know, power that the producers and the leads and the director have, that you can sort of create magic on the spot. In television, you got too many people that you're answering to in terms of the creativity of it all. Nothing can be done on the fly because there's too many cooks in the kitchen. When you do a film, it's like the concept is what's the main thing, and then after that, it's like you got to try to create it in the moment. What's happening right now? Does this make sense? What can we do to adjust things? And so there's a certain freedom and creativity that you get in film that you don't have on television. So I enjoy bouncing back and forth, but I really did enjoy this project because of that freedom and the collaborative process.
Amazing. Now let's talk about the prep for this film. Gerard, between the fighting and the flying, what was the most challenging scene? I read that you actually filmed a hand-to-hand combat scene, 2 minutes straight in one take. And I believe that's actually you fighting, correct? It wasn't a stunt double.
No, that was me fighting. Yeah, and I think it was more than 2 minutes. It certainly felt more than 2
I was
minutes.
gonna say 2 minutes seems long, but it might be longer than that.
Yeah, it felt longer than that, but and that's rare. Just to quickly explain, typically when you shoot an action movie, and often you do these, there might be slightly longer takes, and then they cut it down, and it's like a bit of a punch and this, and you go, what have you done with my scene? And this was the opposite. We literally shot it all in one take, one camera, which meant every hit had to sell. Like if you even miss by an inch, you're not right. The whole thing is wasted. And we're talking about 105 degrees on the heat index, 100% humidity. And it's a fight that is supposed to be brutal and messy and desperate and exhausting, but it was great. And I think cinematically it will be remembered for a long time for that reason, as this kind of one take fight sequence, because they don't happen so often.
Yeah. And I imagine that both of you have spent a lot of time together in filming and right now even during interviews. So what have you two learned about each other during this whole process?
Well, I mean, I've learned that there's some Scottish phrases that Jerry is not familiar with that I would assume, being born in Scotland, that he would have heard them all. We played this game today that, you know, there were Scottish phrases, and I would have to repeat them, and then I try to guess what they meant. And I missed most of them. I only got a few of them, but then I was surprised Jerry missed a couple too, and you know, had to refresh his memory because he hasn't been home long enough in a bit. So
yeah, but by the way, I'm still disagreeing with them. You know, like one of them was tidy, and I'm like, tidy? What is that?
Yeah.
So no, I feel like I know enough, but yeah, I guess I got some more studying to do. I know that he's a mummy's boy. That's what I learned. He's a big mummy's boy.
That's a compliment, though.
But it is, by the way, because so am I.
Yeah.
We're both very inspired by our mothers, and they both keep us firmly in place. And I love that he gives her so much credit, you know, because I give mom, I give mom, you know, mom. We have to say mom. We give mom.
We give mom
a lot of credit.
Yeah, I mean, just going off of that, you play just everyday commercial airline pilot that goes above and beyond, rises to the challenge, and you are a hero. So I was just gonna ask, in both your lives, who has been that hero to you?
Oh, actually, back to the
Yeah.
my mom.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch it and go and say my dad, because my dad's been gone now for about, I'm gonna say he's gone about 20 years now. And I gotta say that he's a simple man, but one thing I remember fondly about him, and I guess I don't know if I inherited it from him or just learned it by watching him, is his work ethic. The way my dad was, he was always up, 5 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, starting work, whether it was something he wanted to do for himself or whether it was something he had to do for others or something that had to do with his job. He was a hustler too. He was one of those people that always had multiple jobs. He wasn't a well-educated person, a blue-collar guy. I think he went to high school. He didn't go to high school, so he probably stopped when he was in his 6th grade, I believe. So he just didn't have a lot of education, but he knew enough to say, you guys got to get more education. You have to finish, you have to go into college, you have to go into and get something that I didn't have, because you have that opportunity that I didn't have. And he understood the importance of that. And then he sort of deferred to our mother in terms of whatever she said was gospel, and he would back her up. There was no division between the two of them. So I really understood how he was and how he sort of really supported her as being someone who sort of really took care of the kids. But at the end of the day, he still was the head of the household. And it's a tough, but it's a very simple approach. And my dad was really good about that. So yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Awesome. And then after watching this film, obviously, what is now one essential item you both are going to bring on your carry-on on any flight?
An iPad with plane downloaded on it.
Because they won't play it.
Show all the passengers.
Yeah.
Hey, look what could go wrong.
Well, I've always said, what the noise canceling headphones, the eye patch or whatever, so you can cover your eyes up. I like a bottle of water. You can't get a good bottle of water on a plane. A plane, the water they serve is, it's essential to stay hydrated on a plane. You just gotta stay hydrated. So I like make sure I get a good bottle of water.
He's so sensible.
I'm sensible. I
don't want to
blast a bottle of water that's on the plane, but that bottle of water they serve on most planes. You know that brand, and it's not very drinkable. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, I'm gonna go with little bubble thing. Where you blow bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yeah, just
to annoy people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, it's Gerard Butler.
That little doll baby that cries really loud.
And you're gonna.
And I'll just stick it the whole flight.
Stick him in your jacket, cover the head up.
I mean, you both play such recognizable roles. When I was watching Plane, part of me wanted to see a slight crossover. I just have to ask, Gerard, was there a moment that you wanted to go, "This is my plane," and then kick them all off?
I did say that many times, but they cut it out the movie. Yeah. I do that in every movie.
Yeah.
This is whatever that movie is, Greenland. And I don't know why, but for some reason the editors keep taking it out.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time today. Make sure to catch Plane in theaters this Friday, January 13th. Thank you both.